AmaWaterways handles low water, what every river cruiser should know. If you've been following river cruising lately, you've probably seen the headlines about low water in Europe. Every time it happens, I start getting emails from clients asking the same questions. Is my cruise going to be canceled? Should I postpone my trip? Is this something I should be worried about? Recently, I spent some time learning more about how AmaWaterways handles low water conditions, and I discovered a lot of things that even surprised me. I thought they were worth sharing because understanding what happens behind the scenes can make planning your river cruise much less stressful. One of the first things I learned is that low water isn't an on and off switch. A river doesn't suddenly become unnavigable overnight. Water levels change gradually, and different sections of the river are affected at different times. That's why AmaWaterways has an operations team constantly monitoring weather forecasts, river gauges, and navigation reports. They're making decisions based on real-time conditions, not what they expected a week ago. Something else that really caught my attention is that much of the planning starts years before a cruise even sails. AmaWaterways designs many of its itineraries to avoid sections of the Danube during times of the year when those areas have historically experienced low water. In other words, they're already planning around these challenges long before guests ever step on board. The ships themselves are designed with these conditions in mind. AmaWaterways ships have a shallower draft, which means they require less water beneath them than heavier vessels. They also carefully manage the ship's weight to help navigate changing river conditions. It's one of those behind-the-scenes details most travelers never think about, but it becomes incredibly important when water levels begin to drop. Another thing I found fascinating is the people behind these decisions. Their operations team reviews river conditions every single day and works closely with captains who have spent decades navigating these waterways. Many of them actually grew up along the rivers they sail today. That experience, combined with constant monitoring, helps them make informed decisions as conditions change. Now, does that mean your cruise will never be affected? No. Sometimes adjustments are necessary. But what impressed me is how hard AmaWaterways works to keep your vacation moving. One example is something called a ship swap. At first, it might sound intimidating, but here's what usually happens. While you're out enjoying a guided excursion, the crew transfers your luggage to a nearly identical sister ship waiting on the other side of the affected section of the river. By the time your tour is over, your luggage is already waiting in your new cabin, and your journey continues. It may not be exactly what you originally imagined, but it's a very different experience from having your trip canceled. Another thing I appreciated learning is that they don't just focus on solving the problem. They also look for opportunities. There have been times when itinerary adjustments led to visits to charming towns they had never included before, creating entirely new excursions for guests. In fact, one of their current Netherlands and Belgium itineraries was inspired by lessons learned during a previous low-water season. They also consider travelers who have land extensions before or after their cruise. If itinerary changes affect flights, AmaWaterways works to adjust those arrangements so guests can still enjoy their pre- or post-cruise land packages whenever possible. One phrase really stood out to me. "We don't cancel, we go." I think that perfectly captures their approach. It doesn't mean every sailing stays exactly the same. River cruising depends on nature, and sometimes Mother Nature has other plans. But what impressed me most is how much planning, coordination, and experience goes into responding before guests even realize something has changed. As someone who's sailed with AmaWaterways multiple times and helps travelers plan river cruises every day, I found all of this incredibly reassuring. It reminded me that while no cruise line can control the weather, they can control how they prepare for it and how they take care of their guests. If you're considering an AmaWaterways river cruise and have questions about low water or choosing the right itinerary, I'd be happy to help. Every river is different. Every season is different. And knowing what to expect can make planning your trip a whole lot easier. And if you're still trying to decide which river might be the right fit for you, feel free to reach out. You can email me at info@sevenheaventravel.com or visit sevenheaventravel.com for more information. And if you're enjoying this series, make sure to subscribe. I'll be sharing more videos to help you understand river cruising and plan the trip that's right for you. I'm Lena with Seven Heaven Travel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.